Welcome to Chester. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Chester, England, one of the prettiest towns you can visit in England, the United Kingdom, and Europe, in the world. I mean, this historic center is just fabulous, and today what I want to talk about are some of the don'ts that you should know when you do come here to Chester, because oh my goodness, this place is gorgeous, and I gotta start with this one. Don't just stop and take pictures everywhere you go, but you're gonna want to take lots of pictures. Just kind of step out of the way, because what's cool is the historic center is still used by the people. So when you have the historic streets, it's normal stores that you use every day. You know, there's a Zara, there's other clothing stores, there's jewelry shops, there's travel agencies. It's a living, breathing historic center. Where some places, you go and it's kind of just restaurants and like tourist things. No. It's not like that here. It really is a living thing. That's why I say don't stop in the middle and take your pictures, because people are going to work, they're going through the city. You want to make sure of that, okay? So I want to get that one out of the way. And really the first don't I have for you is don't miss out on the rose and the cross. And the thing is, one thing that everyone's going to ask you when you come to Chester, you tell them you're going to Chester, they're going to ask, are you going to go see the rose and the cross? Because when you come here, you have to understand is there's these two streets that intersect, and they have these double arcades you can go at. And no, I'm not talking about video game arcades. I'm talking about there's a street level of shops, and then above those shops, there's another kind of covered street level, an arcade that you can walk through. And the thing is those normal shops, like the travel agents and the jewelry shops and all those, they're in there too. And it's really cool when you walk through it, you're like, wow, this is actually really a neat thing. So you definitely don't want to miss out on the rose when you're here. And of course, the crossroads, you'll see the cross that's there in the middle. Now, another don't I have for you is don't get weirded out by all the Roman stuff around here. Like you'll see guys dressed up as Roman soldiers. I'm here in the Roman Theater. This is a collection of Roman ruins they found here and brought, and collected here together, because Chester was a Roman city. There were Roman walls here. And no, don't think those are Roman walls. Those are actually newer walls, but they're based on where the Roman walls were. But you can see things here. The Roman amphitheater that's there, you can go to, but just something to look at. You have this little guard you can walk through. You can go to the Grosvenor Museum to see some of the antiquities they have there. So there's a lot of Roman things you can kind of take in, and you'll see that there's Roman themed things. I mean, they even have a place where you can go experience ancient Rome with the sights and smells and things like that for kind of a Roman experience. So there's all kinds of things you can do to get a taste of ancient Rome when you are here, which is kind of a cool thing. There's the cathedral right there. It's pretty cool. Here's the city walls. You get really nice views from there too. Now, what don't I have for you with these walls behind me is, don't forget you can walk on them, but be careful on a rainy day like this. It can get kind of slick. But one thing I think is really cool about it, don't think the city walls are just for tourists to walk on. The locals use them. I saw a lady yesterday walking around with her Tesco bag, so she didn't have to walk through the center and deal with all the tourists and all the people. So it's really a functioning wall of the city that people use, and you get great views of the cathedral. Oh, you go see the Eastgate clock. Oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous. See, you can walk the walls. Let's go. And if you do find the wishing steps, I gotta tell you this one, don't take a breath, because if you can go up and down twice without taking a breath, guess what? Your wishes will get granted. Sadly, I'm too out of shape and couldn't get up like 5 steps, but you could try. Now, one of the things that's really great about here in Chester, it's not just a historic city. There's actually a really wonderful zoo you can go to, the Chester Zoo, and it's not just seeing the animals, it's the gardens that are there as well that are really, really cool. And the thing is, as a traveler, one of the best parts of coming to Chester is you don't have to worry about your budget. It is a very affordable place to go. The pubs, the inns, the hotels, the shopping, it's actually quite good on your budget, so your money goes farther, so you can spend more time visiting here and exploring around here, because don't forget about the day trips. I mean, the local train line goes up to Liverpool. You can do all the Beatles stuff. You can go hit the beach, maybe go to New Brighton. If you want to go to North Wales, yeah, the train line goes there, so you can really explore from here in Chester. And the thing is, when you are here in Chester, one thing I want to warn you about is don't expect a good cell service or Wi-Fi when you're in the historic center, because these buildings are all listed, so therefore you're not really going to get a good signal through all that stonework and things. So just be aware of that. If you're trying to stream your Instagram live or something, it might not work very well or might not work at all when you are in the historic part. So you might have to wait to send your pictures and your grams later, your TikToks later, after you leave the center. The thing is, when you're in the center, there's all kinds of great places to visit when you're there. One thing I do recommend is don't forget to say a prayer when you go into the Chester Cathedral, because oh my gosh, it is just gorgeous when you go in there. And if you go to where the choir is, look on the ceiling. It's got this beautiful painted ceiling there that you can take in. But honestly, if you look at the stained glass, that's beautiful too. And they do tours there that can really teach you more about the history of the Chester Cathedral, which is a very important part of this city. And the thing is, when you come to the city, you're going to be walking around. There's a number of museums you can go to. I mean, for me, most of the time, I'm just looking around at the architecture, the number of half-timber houses you're going to go by, and some of the amazing stonework that's here, like the City Hall. I mean, there's so many things you can see and do when you're here that this is not just an easy 45-minute, train ride day trip from Liverpool. It's a place you should really stay. Another quick tip I have for you is don't pronounce the S in Grosvenor, because the S is silent. Just so you know, when you walk around, you see all this like Grosvenor. No, the S is silent in that, all right? Just to give you the heads up. Another one I have for you is don't pass up reading these plaques around town, because there's so much history here from Roman times to the present here in Chester that you really appreciate the city a lot more once you start to understand more of their history. So don't pass those up as one of those, oh, it's just a tourist thing, I'm gonna walk by it. Read them, you get a lot out of it, okay? Another thing, if you're gonna be staying here and you're gonna be staying at some of the historic inns and bed and breakfasts, one thing I wanna tell you is don't forget to watch your step, because some of these houses, 500 years old or so, sometimes the steps can be not just wobbly, but also uneven. So it might be a bigger step or a smaller step. I saw a few tourists the last couple of days taking a bite down some of those stairs because they weren't prepared for the differences in the steps. So do be careful with that. But I will give it to all the innkeepers I heard and I met. They all warned people multiple times about that, but sometimes people forget. So I just want to remind you as well. Okay, so be safe when you're here. And also, if you haven't been able to tell with this video, don't forget to bring some layers when you're here, because you might not get the sunny skies you might think you want to get when you come here. Because yes, this is the north of England, so it does get a little bit rainier than the south. So just be prepared. Have your rain jacket with you, because it doesn't rain all the time. It just pops in and out. So it's nice just throw it in your backpack, even on a sunny day. So I hope this helps you know what you don't do when you do come here to Chester, because honestly, it's a beautiful city. You're going to really enjoy your time here. It's small, it's compact, it's beautiful. You're going to love it. And it really represents the beauty of Northern England that all travelers should enjoy. So I hope you have a great time, and I'll say bye from here in Chester.